Today's video will be reading Milk and Honey Devotional by Cambria Joy. Ecclesiastes, a taste of patience. He had made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has put eternity into man's heart, yet so that he cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. Ecclesiastes 3:11. I never met someone who likes being a work in progress. Given the choice, most of us want to finish line as quickly and painlessly as possible, to enjoy the promise and satisfaction completion brings. We even do this at the grocery store. Which line do we choose the longest? Of course. Didn't see that coming, did you? Of course not. We would never do that, but if you're someone who willfully chooses to do small, everyday things so that patience have its perfect thing work in you, well, you have my respect. And you should probably the one writing this book instead of me. Patience is a fruit of the spirit that seems to grow quite slowly on my tree. I've been lighthearted and know that patience is a real struggle. It's uncomfortable for all of us. We want to be patient, but impatience seems to war with the good intention. How we allow patience to flourish in our lives? Maybe we should start at the root of the fruit. 1 Corinthians said, love is patient and kind. So it seems that patience will be a direct result of a life deeply rooted in love. Actually, Scripture paints this out for us and invites us to be rooted and grounded in love. Ephesians 3:17. The question then is, how do I become more patient? But how do I grow deeper in love? It's interesting that roots are opportunistic. They just don't grow by accident in random direction. They intentionally look for ways to grow. They search for where they can grow nutrients and water from the soil. If they don't seek what they need, they don't grow. Could that be true for us? What does this practically look like in our lives? How do we look for opportunities for love to grow in our souls? What are we even supposed to look for? The scripture tells us exactly by this we know love, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brothers. 1 John 3:16. There we go. Love will look for opportunities to lay life down and serve it for others. That's how it grows. If we want to become patient, this is how we do it. Jesus often used example from the natural world to teach us spiritual truth. Just as he said, look at the birds of the air. We can imagine him saying, look at the roots. If you watch how roots grow and do as they do, we mimic them. We look for ways to love others how Jesus loved us. By crucifying impatience in pursuit of being kind to others, because that's what love does. Kindness pulls out the weeds of selfishness. Now notice that love specifically couples patience and kindness. This combination is not random. When does unkindness usually spill out most of us easily? When we're being patient. How do we treat the people we love when we're in a hurry or when we want them to hurry? That right there is an opportunity or a million to grow. But remember, every time we miss the opportunity to grow is not a time God will speak to us harshly. It's an opportunity for God to nourish the soil of our hearts with his rich grace. He is patient with us. He is kind to us. So take heart. Just because we don't see fruit right away doesn't mean we're not growing. Remember, there is no shortcut to growth, so let's allow ourselves to be rooted in progress.